Hey, can you hear me?
All right. Okay, whoops, what's going on here? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law, and we are going to proceed with our first appearance misdemeanor calendar for today, April 15th, 2026. These are misdemeanor cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being booked in, their cases were formally accused by the prosecutor, who is the Solicitor General of Fulton County. Today, when I address each of their cases, I will let them know what is their new accusation number, the charges brought against them, to appoint counsel where required, set a bond, and in certain cases, give them a new court date. Ms. Bridgewater, good afternoon. What's the new
Good
court
afternoon,
date?
Your Honor. Your reset date for the SAP calendar is April the
Sorry,
20th.
I can't hear you. I don't know if your
Oh,
audio is connected.
I hope it is. You still can't hear me?
Ms. Kim, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
And we can hear her.
You can hear me?
Now I can. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
That's
The
okay.
reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 28th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as I was saying, for certain individuals, if the case is reset, it would be April 28th, 2026 at 9 a.m. This next court date will also be a virtual Zoom proceeding. So those who plan to attend, please obtain a Zoom link from the clerk's office. If you are a defendant charged with one or more misdemeanor offenses, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statement can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Now, if you are a victim, an alleged witness, a family member, or a friend who is here in support of or against a defendant, unless you see me addressing that particular defendant, please mute your screen and switch your video off. Please mute your screen and switch your video off. If you don't know how to do it, our host will assist you. All right, Ms. Kim, who do we have first?
Add on to Ms. King.
All right. Mr. Dooley, are you involved in this case? Rebecca Jackson, Jocelyn Harris, if you're not involved in this case, switch your video off and mute your screen. Shenica King is accused of terroristic threats and acts allegedly occurring on April 14th of this year. Her case number is 26 CR 002428J. Ms. King, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was September the 7th, 2025 out of Fulton County for simple battery family violence. That case is open under 25 CR 005377J. They're being supervised by pretrial on that, so we'll be surrendering that bond. Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans-Abano?
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, we are asking for bond in the amount of a $3,000 surety. I hope the court had an opportunity to read the warrant.
I did.
Okay. And we are asking that there be no further violent contact with Jessica King. We did have an opportunity to hear from her. We're asking, though, that she still stay away from the 3280 Drexel Lane Drive location. Her mother has indicated unless she has been in a facility, received MH treatment, that she cannot come back to the home. We ask for no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no firearms while out on bond. We would ask for MHET to be completed as well. Thank you.
Anyone here to speak on behalf of Miss King, Shenica King? All right, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss King is 29 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. She has one minor child that she is a mother of. After 11th grade, she is still pursuing her GED. And last 2 years, she has not been able to be employed because of her disability. And she applied for SSID. However, it has not been approved yet. So she doesn't have any income to make any kind of bond payment at this point. We asked for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give her a signature on bond, there is a $1,000 surety bond already set. We would like to get that remain set, Your Honor.
Okay. The bond for this particular case is going to be 1,000. It's going to be a surety bond. No further violent contact with Jessica King, but she'll need to find another place to live. She'll need to stay away from 3280 Drexel Lane. And within 30 days, she's to update us with her new address. She's allowed a one-time visit to that location with a police officer to retrieve her belongings, but she'll need to update us with a new address within 30 days. Unfortunately, she's been arrested again, so her signature bond in her prior case, the $1,500 signature bond, is surrendered. So in order for her to bond out, it would have to be a total of $2,500 in both cases. Her next court date is going to be April 28th, and we're going to address both cases, which is going to be this new one, as well as 25 CR 005-377G. Also, in addition to no illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons, she must also be compliant with all medication that is prescribed to her. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Item 14, Mr. Gresham.
This is, oh, sorry, position 14 on the other calendar. Okay. This is Johnny Gresham, accused of 2 counts of willful obstruction of an officer and misdemeanor possession of marijuana. The accusation is 26 CR 2402G. Mr. Gresham has been advised of his rights, and his attorney is Ms. McLeod. Any priors?
No, Your Honor, no history to report at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. Ms. McLeod, I did send a consent bond order over to you at about 1:30 today. I would be consenting to an SOB if he gets enrolled in diversion. If you wanted me to read those terms out loud, or if you wanted to go check your emails.
I actually saw the consent bond, but I didn't have the opportunity to speak with my client because I had already interviewed him at the time. Of course, we are okay with the signature bond, and I think this case may well be resolved by way of diversion. I just haven't seen the discovery yet, so I don't know. But I think, given the fact that he has no history and what the charges are, a signature bond would be appropriate. And I'm happy to speak to him once he's released about the other conditions that the state is suggesting to see if we could resolve the case.
All right, Ms. Tucker, let's assume diversion is something he'll think about later. What is the state recommending?
So the state is going to recommend a $7,500 on each. It is going to be a signature bond through pretrial level 1. There's no stay away or no further contact in this case. Officers were investigating a report. They saw a male matching the description in a video, brandishing a firearm. When they went to speak with him, he ran away. He was eventually detained and search incident to arrest found marijuana. Considering that lack of history, we are fine with an SOB through pretrial level 1. If he's not going to consent to diversion, we're asking for 750 on each. Just 750 on each. I don't know what I said before, but the state's
7,500.
intention is 750. I don't say that often. I'm usually saying 7,500.
All right, Miss McLeod, let's assume he's going to be thinking about diversion later on. They're asking for a $1,500 surety bond.
A surety bond, Your Honor, I think he qualifies for signature bond. This is his first arrest. So that is what I would be asking for. As I said, I did not get the opportunity to discuss diversion with him because I received the offer well after I had interviewed him. And the logistics of getting back in touch with the jail and speaking to your clients sometimes is not easy. So I wasn't able to get back to discuss it with him. But I would like him to have a signature bond, Your Honor, because at the moment he's unemployed.
How old is he?
He's 20 years old.
Okay. On each count of willful obstruction is going to be 1,500, and the misdemeanor possession of marijuana is going to be 100. This is going to be a 3,100 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. He is to report to pretrial once a month. He's to stay 200 yards away from the entire neighborhood at 1955 Campbellton Road in Southwest Atlanta. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. He will be subject to random screens for illegal drugs and alcohol, and his next court date will be sent to his current address. Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. I think he lives fairly close to that neighborhood. He lives on Childress, which, if my recollection of the area, is not that far away from the address where it is said that, and he does live with his parents.
On the building of 1975 Campbellton Road. How close is that to where he lives? 250 yards is
sure.
just 200 yards is 2 football fields. I don't know what that is in kilometers.
I don't think it's that close, and it's just a convenience store, Your Honor. It's
all right. Then don't
like
go to anywhere near that convenience store. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next we got 24, Mr. Timmons.
I'm sorry, that was 24. Have a seat, sir. Joan Timmons is accused of 4 misdemeanor charges stemming from an April 13th, 2026 incident. They are 1 count of battery, family violence, and 3 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree. Mr. Timmons, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. McLeod. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. Their last arrest was November the 15th, 2025, out of Fulton County for simple battery. That case is open under 25 CR 007423E. There are 15 total cycles. There is a 2023 misdemeanor conviction for obstruction, criminal trespass, battery, family violence. 2020 criminal trespass. There's a 2020 felony conviction for terroristic threats and acts. Nothing further to report.
All right. Ms. Evans-Barrett?
Yes, Your Honor. I do see a 2024 violation of probation, willful obstruction, law enforcement officer. He had another VOP in 2022. He also, just so that the court, just to refresh the court's memory, in his cases, he does have a 2026 battery, family violence, and disorderly conduct conviction. I'm not sure I heard her say that. That's from another county. Also, as to the victim in the case that is currently open is the same victim as in this case, Zykia Ragland is the same victim in the case. And in that order, there were to be no further violent contact. And here we are again today. She was also the victim in case 24 PI 004088 as well. And in that case, the defendant who shares 3 children with her, and those children were present as well. In that particular case, she had indicated that he had struck her in front of her children with a closed fist. He broke the driver's side window in the car that she was in and jumped through the window while she was driving, causing her to collide with another vehicle in that case. And so, in the open case, he punched her in the face, grabbed her phone, threw it on the ground, and damaged the screen. She has indicated that she doesn't know what brought this on with him in this particular day. And she does say that she believes he may have some MH issues. But in all instances, the children were present when this occurred. Our bond recommendation in this particular case, Judge, is that we are seeking a $10,000 as to the battery family violence charge, $2,500 as to each of the cruelty to children charge. I have that totaling $17,000. We are asking for a cash bond. We're asking for no further contact with Ms. Ragland, that there be no third-party transfer, as the children were present in each of the 3 cases that I have provided facts to the court about. We're asking that he stay away from the 13 Forsyth Street Southwest address. And if the court is so inclined, just based on the victim's indication that there may be MHET issues, we would ask the court to order such to take place. No alcohol, drugs, weapons, and certainly no firearms while out on bond. Thank you.
Zakia Ragland, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video, if you want to say anything, that is.
Hi, I'm Zakia.
Can't see you. Put your hand down and take your hat off.
I just took down my hair, ma'am. I'm sorry. Then I'm in the process of driving, so I got to pull over.
Okay, remove her from Zoom, please. Thank you. All right, Ms. McLeod, you can remove iPhone
Yes,
2
Your
from Zoom. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My client is 27 years old. He tells me that he shares 3 minor children with the alleged victim, and they are fairly young. The eldest one is 5 years old. There's a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. He tells me also that he has a MH diagnosis, Your Honor, for which he is seeking treatment. He is also unemployed. That being said, he's not in a position to pay for bond. I believe he tells me that he and the alleged victim, are still talking. I was not able to speak with her, unfortunately, so I don't know what her views are with respect to contact between herself and my client. I know that the court is not going to give him a signature bond based on the history and the fact that he has a current unresolved case involving the same victim, but I'm asking for as reasonable a surety bond as possible, Your Honor, because it indicates to me that he's really not in a position to pay for bond since he has been unemployed since sometime last year. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. And have you spoken to him about his prior bond order? The one
Yes,
that
it was, I did look. I looked online, Your Honor, and it said no further violent contact.
Right. And did he enroll in the parenting class?
Don't
know.
I did not ask about.
And did he enroll in the domestic violence intervention program?
I see him shaking his head, Your Honor, to indicate that.
Let me see if pretrial can confirm that. Miss Hardy, Mr. Oh no, this is not a pretrial. No, this is Judge Morrow issued that. Okay, thank you. Is Miss Raglan back from back into Zoom, Miss Grace?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Timmons, I'm not certain what's going on, but this is your third case, at least that we know of, involving Zakiya Raglan. 1 felony, 1 misdemeanor, and now a brand new misdemeanor. Clearly, you and Miss Raglan should not be in the same room for some time. Battery, family violence, that bond is going to be set at $2,500. And on each count of the cruelty is going to be $500 each. This is going to be a $4,000 cash bond only. You are to have no further contact with Zakiya Raglan. You are to stay 200 yards away from Miss Raglan and 200 yards away from the children that you share with Miss Raglan. If you are not married to her, you can file a legitimation action in the appropriate superior court and get a court-ordered parenting plan in order to have contact with the child or children that you share with Miss Raglan. In the meantime, you're not to have any alcoholic beverages, no illegal drugs, and you're not allowed to own or possess any firearms. Your next court date is going to be April 28th, and we are going to address this new case as well as 25 CR 007423E. If Ms. Raglan's not back? Okay, thank you. I'm sorry,
Thank you.
courtroom 2, please unmute. Mr. Timmons, I would not recommend that you say anything because your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your cases.
I understand that, but I was just trying to figure out because I'm trying to like right now I got a job like literally like working for the working for the city and literally like I literally sat right here and told my boss like even if I can be able to even if you can be able to just give me a bus so I can be able to I can get you put me on the ankle monitor so I can be able just to go to work and stay away from her and put me on the ankle monitor where I can go back to work and I can be able to be at least still attend my classes and stuff like that because I know how I do have a class on Thursday with Mr. Trey. I take anger management for it, and I also take domestic violence for class for it. And I am still in those classes. That's why I was asking you the only way I can be able to bond out through a bonding company so I can be able to make bonds so I can still attend my domestic violence classes and my anger management classes. So I was still doing it while I was out on bond.
Ms. Evans-Battle, do you have any objection to a bond amendment with an ankle monitor?
Well, I would object. We've actually asked for this case to be transferred to the felony because of his prior battery family violence convictions. My position remains the same.
I'm just trying to go back to work.
Understood, sir, but I am also concerned about the fact that in less than 6 months now you've racked in 2 violent cases involving the same victim, and not only that, in front of the same children.
And she's out on bond right now with me, sir, and with me, man. But you told her not to not have no contact.
Well, then you should have stayed away from her if you knew that.
I'm just trying to do better.
Yep, a lot of people are trying to do better, sir, but you seem to be taking a lot of missteps. Your next court date is April 28th. Thank you.
Number 28, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
There you go. Come on.
I heard Williams, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That was Mark Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mark Denzel, that's Danzell Williams, is accusation 26 CR 2412D, accused of 2 counts of battery against a female of a particular nature, conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor, and simple assault. These 5 misdemeanor charges stem from an April 8th, 2026 incident. Your attorney is Ms. McLeod. Any priors?
Their last arrest was March the 17th, 2026, out of DeKalb County for giving false info to law enforcement. They have 57 total arrest cycles. They appear to be on probation for aggravated assault under 09 SC 80670, and also for robbery by force under 17 SC 153825. There's an open burglary case under 25 PI 00335.
I don't did something.
Just
What
a
I
minute.
do?
Just a minute. Just a minute.
I done did something. Look. Oh, let's see.
Miss Grace,
04814484146.
Miss Grace, please remove Minka completely
This
from
for
the
your
room.
daughter's appointment.
Remove them
My brother in
completely.
jail.
Completely, thank you. All right, do not let them back into the main session. We can keep them in the waiting room, but not in the main session. Thank you. All right, I'm sorry about that. Miss Sardi, you were saying?
There's a 2022 disorderly conduct misdemeanor conviction, 2014 battery. There's a 2018 felony aggravated assault. Nothing further to report.
Okay, thank you. Miss Evans Battle?
Yes, just, as far as the history goes and the significant violence, that 2018 aggravated assault was when conviction was for pointing a gun at Candace Booker. The 2014 battery family violence, there were two victims, additional women, Artesia Clark and Jasmine Norman. The 2013 aggravated assault was reduced to a simple assault from our court, and the same victim in that case is the victim in this case, in which he threatened her with a knife. I know the court, of course, has had an opportunity to review what was contained in this particular warrant for this victim, Ashley Williams. The incident occurred at 1350 Bolden Road Northwest. And Mr. Williams had gotten into an argument with her at the BP, and it just so happened the police were called, and at that time he indicated that he was going to hurt her. I won't necessarily repeat, just smacked the mess out of her, put it like that, and was about to choke her when an officer walked up on them. He left and went and got three other people who proceeded to, along with himself, to punch and kick and stomp her so bad that her eyes were closed shut. They were purple and blue. And ultimately, she was pregnant at the time. And as a result of this incident, she lost the baby. We are, of course, going to seek felony transfer of this particular case. There was some indication from the victim that initially he had a gun, although he didn't point it at her. He had the gun. She felt threatened by it, as well as, I believe, one of the individuals who participated actually said, hey, she's pregnant. And he said he didn't care. Those were not his nice words. Those are my nice words about what he actually said. This case, we are seeking for a cash bond only. As to and so as to the battery just as to the two battery counts, $5,000 each. As to the battery on a pregnant woman, $10,000. And as to the conspiracy and the simple assault, another $5,000, makes for a $30,000 cash bond only. No further contact with Ashley Williams. Stay away from the 3263 Donald L. Howe Parkway Northwest location, which is the BP gas station. The officers indicated they'd had several incidents with the parties at that location, and that he stay away from the 1350 Bolton Road Northwest Drive as well. No alcohol, drugs, weapons and certainly no firearms while out on bond. Thank you.
Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 47 years old. I understand that based on his history, he doesn't qualify for a signature bond, Your Honor, but he certainly is not in a position to pay a $30,000 surety bond, and never mind a $30,000 cash bond, which is what he's offering. Ultimately, these are misdemeanor charges, Your Honor, and I believe that $30,000 cash is excessive. It just essentially says he will be sitting in jail because he cannot come with $30,000 in cash to pay for a bond. So I'm asking the court to consider a reasonable surety bond for him, Your Honor.
On the
Something
battery,
nowhere near $30,000.
all right. On the battery, it's going to be 5,000. On the count 2, it's going to be 15,000. On the third count of battery is 5. Count 4 is 1, and count 2 is 1. This is a 27,000, math correct, $27,000 cash bond only. This case should never have been brought into this court. This is clearly a felony charge, especially given the alleged injuries so far. Mr. Williams, given your criminal record history and given the allegations set forth in the warrant, I highly recommend you exercise your right to remain silent. Anything you say at this time, your statements can and will be used against you.
I just want to say, in April, I've been locked up since March.
Yes, the incident date of this occasion is March 8th, 2026. That was a typo. No, I misread it.
And I was locked up then.
March 8th, you were in custody?
I was locked up in the county, then I came over here.
I'm sorry, on March 8th, 2026, you were in custody?
Yes, ma'am.
Where were you in custody?
The county, ma'am.
All right. Miss Hardy, or I have that he was booked into Fulton County Jail on March 23rd.
I got locked up in the county on March the 4th.
All right.
I got locked up in the county on March the 4th.
Okay, we'll check into that and then we'll come back to this case. Thank you. But presently it's the $27,000 cash bond. And next court date is going to be April 28th. Thank you.
All right, number 12, Mr.
Miss
Joan.
McLeod or Miss Evans Battle or Miss Hardy, if y'all can check into this allegation that Mr. Williams was in custody from March 4th and also completely detained for the entire night and day for March 8th. That would be very helpful. Thank you. I'm sorry, Deputy,
Thank
could
you,
you
Your Honor.
repeat this case number?
Number 12.
12, thank you. Stefan Guiles is accused of battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree from April 14th of this year, 26 CR 2417Y. You've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Ms. Kim. Any priors?
Their last arrest was October the 8th, 2024, out of Douglasville for a probation violation. There are 4 total arrest cycles. There was a felony conviction in 2009 for theft by shoplifting. They got first offender on that and it was discharged in 2014. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Bennett?
Yes, Your Honor. This particular case, we're asking for surety bond, $3,500 on the battery, family violence, and 15 on the cruelty to children. I have 2 counts. And it would be a $6,500 surety altogether. No further contact with Maria Rodriguez and stay away from the 4375 Cascade Road location. third-party transfer of the children, no alcohol, drugs, weapons while on bond. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Miss Grace, those individuals who I removed from Zoom, are they in the waiting room?
Judge, I have Mary's iPhone in the waiting room, and then I have a Samsung. So that was a Kika you told me to put out. So I didn't bring them back in yet because I didn't get your permission, and I don't know, they're not up under their name. So you want me to
Okay.
bring them in?
Let's bring in the other two. I just want to make sure. Thank you. All right. Anything else, Miss Bell?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a Maria Rodriguez on Zoom? And if she wants to say anything, please unmute and start your video. Maria Rodriguez. Who is this person on Samsung?
Are you referring to
Yes.
Ricky Williams?
All right. Mr.
Okay.
Williams, are you involved in the Stefan Guiles case?
No.
Okay,
My case
switch your video off and mute your screen. Switch your video off and mute your screen. Miss Grace,
Okay.
you can help him? Thank you. All right, Maria Rodriguez is not here. Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Giles is 35 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for the last 25 years. And Your Honor, he and complaining witness, baby mother, they live together. The place is actually my client's place, and apparently, he might have to file eviction to make sure that she does not live there. At this point, she should not be there. However, we just want to double check with a law enforcement officer before he returns to his home. Your Honor, the last conviction was 2009, which is very remote. He has 5 minor children, Your Honor, and 2 of them he resides with, and 3 of them he pays a lot of child support at this point. He graduated from college with a bachelor's degree at Louisiana, and his major was business administration, and he's licensed as an insurance broker and loan officer. He does not have any major conviction or any kind of like criminal history that is extremely dangerous. He currently has self-employment. He owns financial brokerage, Your Honor, and he recently purchased a daycare to start the business with his partner. And these charges are very, very detrimental to his career. So he is willing to fight for his innocence. He denies the allegation, and we ask for signature on bond and no contact. Stay away. We have no objection, Your Honor.
All right. Is there a Valencia Osborne on Zoom? All right, thank you. On the battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,000 surety bond. On the each count of the cruelty, that's going to be $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. So this is a $5,000 split bond. Is that correct? Yeah. Once he posts the $2,000 portion, he will be reporting to pretrial services on a $3,000 signature bond, and he will report twice a month. He's to have no further contact with Maria Rodriguez, no further contact with the 2 children. They both have their last names as Rodriguez. So if those are not his children, then he needs to also have no contact with them. He's allowed a one-time visit to the place, which is 4375 Cascade Road in South Fulton, with a police officer. At that first visit, the officer has to verify with the leasing office that Ms. Rodriguez and her children have vacated the premises. If they have vacated the premises, then he's allowed to return to the unit. Otherwise, he's only allowed to go into the unit one time to retrieve his belongings and update us with a new address. Of course, like you've told him, he will need to file a dispossessory case against her if she's not on the lease, so that he can lawfully re-enter the premises after she has been evicted with the children. His next court date is going to be April 28th.
Your Honor, actually, complaining witness, the reason that she cannot come to the Zoom hearing, when the police was called for this incident, she was arrested because of outstanding warrant in Gwinnett County. So she is currently at Gwinnett County Jail.
All right, so if he goes there and she's not living there, then he can re-enter the premises.
Thank you,
But
Your Honor.
he needs to understand that he's to have no contact with her. So she and her children must be able to leave properly without him being in the room. He has to be away. So if she comes there for the children, he needs to make sure he's not there. I mean, it's common sense. He cannot be in the same room with her and her children. All right, hope you all use common sense. Oh, while he's reporting to pretrial, he will complete 12 anger management classes. And Miss Bridgewater, this will be a 12-month monitoring. So he'll need to complete report twice a month for 12 months and complete 12 classes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 17, Mr. Hutchins will be next.
A 17. Michael Hutchins. Case number is 26 CR 2421E. Mr. Hutchins has got 3 charges. 1 count of cruelty in the 3rd degree, 1 count of battery, family violence, and 1 count of simple battery, family violence. He's been advised of his rights, and his attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was January 5th, 2018, out of DeKalb County for aggravated assault that did result in a felony conviction. They got first offender and it was discharged in 2025. There's 12 total cycles. There's a 2019 misdemeanor conviction for possession of false, fraudulent, or altered ID documents. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Evans-Bauer?
Yes, Your Honor. And I believe the victim had indicated this may be in a 3rd incident with her being involved, and I can't recall. I was trying to see if this aggravated assault was included her, but as it is, the court had an opportunity to review the warrant as well. The incident took place at 133 Parkway Drive in Fairburn. It appeared as we initially thought this would be a strangulation case, in that he attempted to choke her, but she did not lose consciousness or have, although she has some difficulty breathing, it did not qualify. But we would ask that the bond in this particular case be set at an amount of $1,500 for the cruelty to children, $3,500 for the battery, and $2,000 for the simple battery, for a $7,000 good bond. No further contact with the victim, no violent contact with the children. I will say the children are older children. The 17-year-old was the one who had to assist her mom that day and pulled him away from her. And there's a 14-year-old. So however the court wants to transfer, or they can make arrangements to see him. I would ask that there be no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no firearms as well. Thank you, Judge.
Miss Kimberly Duffy, if you're on Zoom and wish to be addressed, please unmute. I see her on Zoom. I don't know if she wants to chime in.
I do. I'm sorry. I
All right,
was
raise
looking
your
at-
right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
All right, what would you like to tell us?
I would just like to clarify, he did not choke me. He did grab my neck and squeeze it like on the side of it and pull with his nail. It wasn't a choke. And I would like to also add that I don't want him to do any kind of jail time or anything like that, but I do want him to get some therapy and to also get some drug treatment and to stay away from me, myself. He loves his children love him, but him and I, we are just toxic. And I would just like for him to continue to be, I don't want him to get any kind of jail time. Please don't do that. And if you can, please reduce the bond. He doesn't have to pay all of that. I promise you, I am okay. We had a bad moment and it just, for me, I don't want him to do any kind of jail time. I just want him to do the treatment and get some help, please.
133 Parkway Drive. Whose home is that?
That's both of ours.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hutchinson is 45 years old, born and raised here in Georgia. And Your Honor, they do share child together.
I think she's in a different courtroom.
Hello?
Miss Grace, can you place Samsung in the waiting room? Thank you. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Miss Kim. Sorry about that.
Your Honor. He, after completing 12th grade, he has become a basketball coach with a certification, and he also does a security, Your Honor. At this point, he does work at a company for road assistance. I believe that is a self-employed company that he created. Your Honor, however, from January 2026, his income has not been stable and he is experiencing very hard financial hardships. And we would like to request for a signature on bond and no further violent contact with his family.
On the cruelty in the third degree, that's going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. On the battery family violence, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. And on the simple assault family violence, that's going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. His total bond is going to be $4,500. It's going to be a split bond. He will have to post $1,500 portion of it, and the remainder $3,000 he will report to pretrial and report twice a month for a minimum period of 12 months. While he is out on a signature bond, he will have no further contact with Kimberly Duffy and no further contact with the minor child. Well, right now she's 17, so I'm only going to use her initials, KH. He's to stay away from 133 Parkway Drive in Fairburn, Georgia. He's allowed a one-time visit with a police officer. At that visit, which cannot exceed 1 hour, he shall retrieve his personal belongings and then stay 200 yards away from that location and the individuals I've mentioned. He will update the court with his new mailing address. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and firearms. In addition to that, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. And he must enroll within 30 days of being released on his signature bond. He will attend and complete all 24 weeks of classes at his expense. Next court date is April 28th. Thank you.
It's Nico with my sister. All right, let's go 21, Mr. Powell. Yeah. Mr. Hutchins.
Roderick Powell is accused of willful obstruction of an officer, giving false information to an officer, and possession and use of drug-related objects. from 26 CR 2419D. He's been advised of his rights, and Ms. Kim is his attorney. Any priors?
The last arrest was March the 9th, 2026, out of city of Atlanta for possession and use of drug-related objects. They have 37 arrest cycles in Georgia. It appears that they're on probation for simple battery under 25 CR 007148D. There's a felony conviction in 2020 for aggravated assault, a 2018 disorderly conduct, 2019 a PI, and possession and use of drug-related objects. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, you heard that history, including the exact same charge, possession of drug-related object, from March 9th. He did plead nolo to that in Atlanta Municipal. So based on the history, we're asking for a $2,500 good bond on the obstruction, a $1,500 good bond on the giving false name, and a $500 good bond on the drug-related objects. That's a total of $3,500, as well as a stay away from the KFC at 23 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard in Atlanta. There, the business manager, Daryl Hancock, said there's been ongoing issues with this defendant, including an incident where he came in and damaged a cash register. And although he had been arrested for it, he keeps coming back and just hangs out in the parking lot. When officers arrived, he was found hiding in a dumpster, and then he ran at the sign of officers. While running, he threw a blue baggie in the air. They also found a crack pipe and a small liquor bottle on him, and he gave a false name and date of birth, Bernard Sanford, DOB 1/30/1986, which is obviously not his name, and his birthday is on the calendar.
1958. Yeah, got
Correct.
it.
So yes, for those reasons, we're asking for that $3,500 total good bond with the stay away from this KFC.
Well, we all like to be a little younger, but that would be all right. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Powell is 67 years old, and Your Honor, he has 3 adult children and 5 grandchildren. He graduated from high school, and then he went to college for about 4 years, even though he couldn't get bachelor's degree, but he was educated at the college. And he worked at daycare center for a long time. And then as of now, he has been retired. He gets Social Security income because of the gouts on his legs. He has a very hard time walking. And my client denies the accusation. He says that the drug-related objects were found by the office on the ground. It was not on him. He denies that it was belonged to him. And we asked for a signature on bond. We understand that he may not be qualified for a signature on bond, and yet we asked for the lowest possible bond, $30 in cash, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. On the willful obstruction, that's going to be $25. On giving false information, that's going to be $50. And possession of drug-related object is $25. This is a $100 cash bond to stay 200 yards away from the Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant, or KFC, at 23 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard in Northwest Atlanta. And he's to have no contact with the staff, including Mr. I think it was Darrell, Derell, last name Hancock. No illegal drugs, including no illegal drug-related objects, no alcoholic beverages, and no weapons and firearms. If he's seen anywhere near that location in violation of this bond, well, he better be prepared to pay a lot more. Thank you.
This is number 4, Mr. Bridges. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell's next court date is April 28th. All right. John Bridges is accused of simple assault family violence and simple battery family violence from April 12th of this year. His case number is 26 CR 2408C. He's been advised of his rights. His attorney is Ms. Tucker. Any priors?
The last arrest was October the 10th, 2007, out of Fulton County for an FTA. They have 7 arrest cycles. The felony conviction, 1988 for trafficking. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're asking for $1,000 good bond on each charge for a total of $2,000 with conditions no further contact and to stay away from 1044 Calhoun Avenue in East Point. These facts allege that the victim, Virginia Robertson, was on the phone with a friend saying disrespectful things to the defendant, which made him very upset. So he punched her in the face. Then he lifted his motorcycle helmet in a threatening manner to threaten her with it. And this was all witnessed by the grandson, who is 10 years old, who confirmed all of this to the officer. We have not been able to get in touch with Virginia Robertson, so just to be safe, we are asking for that no further contact and to stay away from this incident location, but if we could sound for her now.
Virginia Robertson, or is it Robertson? I couldn't recall.
Robertson.
Okay. If you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. All right. Ms. Tucker? I'm sorry, your audio is out. Could you please make sure your microphone's connected?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, now it's good. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Mr. Bridges is 71 years of age. He was able to provide me with the residential address at 1041 Callahan Avenue, where he's resided for the last 15 years. He is an Atlanta native. He's completed some college, and he's currently employed by DP World as a quality auditor. We're objecting to the stay away and requesting no further violent contact with Ms. Virginia Robertson. They've been together for over 16 years. This is the first incident that has been reported, so we're asking for no further violent contact at this time. Additionally, we're requesting a signature bond on his behalf. It's been 19 years since his last arrest, as well as his last failure to appear. And this is the first incident involving Ms. Robinson, so we're asking for a signature bond.
I'm not sure. Who is Lewis Cummings? Is there a Lewis Cummings on Zoom? Okay. On the simple assault, that's going to be 1,000. On the simple battery, that's going to be 1,500. This is going to be a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. No further contact with Virginia Robertson, to stay away from 1044 Calhoun Avenue in East Point, Georgia. And he's to update the court with his new address within 30 days of being released. He's allowed a one-time visit to the Calhoun Avenue location in East Point. That visit must be with a police officer, and that visit is for him to retrieve his belongings. Other than he'll need to stay away until further order of the court. No contact with Ms. Robertson means staying 200 yards away from her and not communicating with her in any way, form, or manner. While he reports to pretrial once a month, he will complete 6 anger awareness classes, not consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and firearms. Thank you.
This is number 10, Mr. Elliot.
Malik Elliot is accused of 2 counts of willful obstruction of an officer and misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Case 26 CR 2403L. Is Mr. Elliot with the other gentleman, Johnny Gresham?
Yes, Judge, they are
Oh.
co-defendants. I also offered a consent bond and Miss Kim did consent to it. So in this case, it's going to be 500 on each count for a total of 1,500 signature bond through level 1. He is going to enroll in diversion. Those terms will include the Operation 21 Law and Decision Making course, 40 hours of community service, and the $250 diversion enrollment fee.
Ms. Kim, did your client agree to those terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'll accept the consent bond order as indicated by the state, and this case is going to be further noticed. Is there a time frame when he has to enroll in diversion?
Yes, within 30 days, Ms. Kim, if you send me his phone number and email, I can send it immediately.
All right. Mr. Elliot, once you're released on bond, you're not allowed to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. You're also required to stay away from the incident location, and please make sure that you enroll in the diversion program within 30 days from today. Thank you.
How much that value was again? I'm sorry.
1,500 signature bond through level 1. 500 on each count.
And Your Honor, will you all, Ms. Kim, please get that to my attention so the judge can sign it?
Yes, I will send those to you.
Okay, great.
And then we got number 7, Mr. Cole.
This is State versus Rupert George Cole, case number 26 CR 2424K. Mr. Cole is accused of battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. Any priors?
The last arrest was April 19th. That's April the 9th, 2025, out of Cobb for simple battery, family violence. There are 9 arrest cycles in Georgia. There's a 2018 misdemeanor conviction for battery, family violence, criminal trespass, 2017 DUI, 2016 theft by taking, FTA from 2017, nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, and I don't know if she mentioned the victim was also arrested on an aggravated assault and subsequent battery family violence against this same victim in our case here today. That's 26 PI 002946. So despite, considering the history as well as his prior strangulation against the same victim, as well as what we've spoken with her, we are asking for a $500 cash-only bond on the battery family violence and a $2,500 cash-only bond on the simple battery family violence, as well as no further contact with Kimora Richards and to stay away from this location at 250 Piedmont Avenue, apartment 1212 in Atlanta. The facts allege this defendant grabbed the victim's arm, so she pushed him off of her. So in response, very disproportionately, he grabbed her by the neck and started choking her, making it hard to breathe. We did attempt to, we reached out to the DA's office to see if they would take this as strangulation. They said no because she could breathe, even though in the strangulation assessment, she said that his strength was an 8 out of 10, that she could not breathe, that she could not scream, and that he only stopped because someone across the street screamed at him to stop. Then he punched her in the nose, and he had left a 3-inch bruise to her neck from choking her. Like I said, we did speak with her. She said they had a recent incident in Cobb County where he took her ID and assaulted her when she tried to take it back. That was from April 9th, 2026. So that Cobb incident does involve her. They have been married since March 2023. They are still married, but they do not live together anymore, and they do not share any children. She does confirm the events in the warrant, only got away because someone was yelling at him, distracting the defendant. She says there's been multiple incidents since they've been together. She's called the police at least 6 times. She says he strangled her between 5 and 10 times. Her mother also, or the defendant's mother informed her that he has another DV case out of Cobb with his ex-girlfriend. So she definitely wants a no contact order. She definitely wants a stay away order, and she believes he needs a very, very high cash bond. That is why we're asking for that $5,000 cash bond on the battery of family violence, $2,500 on the simple battery, for a total of $7,500 cash only. If you do not feel inclined to give a cash bond, no less than $1,500. 15,000 good bond. If we could sound for Kamoya Richards.
Kamoya Richards, if you're on Zoom and want to be heard, please unmute and start your video. Nope. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cole is 34 years of age. He was able to provide me with a updated residential address that he's maintained the last several months. He's lived in the Atlanta area for 3 years. He's completed some college and he's been working at a print shop. And he does help support his 13-year-old minor daughter. We have no objections to a stay away from the incident location at 250 Piedmont. Mr. Cole did take it upon himself to move from that location to separate from Ms. Richards after this incident, because the incident date, it is from September 20th of 2025. He also has no objections to no contact with Ms. Richards. He has signed the divorce paperwork. He wants no contact. And as I stated, he did voluntarily relocate away from her. We are asking for the court to set a surety bond in this case. In the subsequent case that the state has mentioned, he was the person that called the police requesting help in that case. He does look forward to presenting a defense in that case, as well as this one. So we do ask that the court allow for a surety bond. This is his 9th cycle. He has no fairy tale peers in the most recent years. He will reappear in court to fight this case.
Okay. On the battery family violence is 3,000. On the simple assault or simple battery is 1,500. This is a 4,500 surety bond. No further contact with Kamoya Richards. Stay away from the marital home if they're still married. And no illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Next court date is April 28th. Thank you. And he's presently in a no bond status with the 26 PI case. Next case?
Number 8, Mr. Crawl.
8. This is State versus Travis Krall, accused of battery family violence from April 30th of last year, case 26 CR 2405E. Mr. Krall has been advised of his rights. Ms. Tucker is his appointed counsel. Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest, well, there's 6 arrest cycles. There's a 2022 misdemeanor conviction for simple battery family violence, a 2019 criminal trespass and obstruction, an FTA from 2019. There appears to be a holdout of Riverdale for a probation violation, and the date of that is February 11th, 2025. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, this is another very serious case. You did hear that prior simple battery family violence from 2022. That is against the same victim. So we're asking for a $5,000 cash bond with conditions no further contact with Joshelle Freeman and to stay away from 171 Auburn Ave, apartment 408 in Atlanta. The officers were conducting a wellness check on the victim requested by her sister. The night before, an argument was getting heated, so the victim tried to give the defendant time to cool down by moving her items to her son's room. She went to grab a blanket from the bedroom, and he grabbed her by the hair and punched her in the face. She tried to scream, but he covered her mouth, making it hard to breathe, and she suffered cuts on her neck and face. She also let us know that she was strangled and that it resulted in a tear in her esophagus. We are requesting medical records for these, and once we get them, if they confirm what she said, we're going to be attempting to upgrade this as either an aggravated battery or a strangulation. She said they've been on and off together for 10 years. They share a 10-year-old child. There is a history of violence. She said there was an incident between them just on the 8th of this month that resulted in the victim being granted a TPO, as well as that prior battery family violence case. So we think this is a very serious case, very high risk of reoffense and hurting this victim or intimidating her as a witness. So we're asking for that $5,000 cash bond. If you don't feel inclined to do a cash bond, no less than $10,000 good, with no further contact and to stay away. And if we could sound for Miss Freeman at this time.
Sure, I think it's Joshelle Freeman, is that correct?
Yes.
No one seems to be here with that name. So, Ms. Tucker?
Mr. Crawl is a 27-year-old Atlanta native. He was able to provide me with a separate residential address that he's maintained the last 2 years. He's currently employed as a welder, and he has 2 minor children that he helps support, a 10-year-old that he shares with Ms. Freeman, as well as a 6-year-old child that he supports. We have no objection to a stay away from the incident location, as well as no objection to no contact with Ms. Freeman. We are requesting a surety bond on behalf of Mr. Crawl. He does have a limited amount of criminal cycles. His last arrest was in 2021. He has no recent failure to appear. He will reappear to present his defense in this matter. We would ask, along with the surety bond, if the court could allow for a third-party transfer of his minor child that he shares with Ms. Freeman.
All right, thank you. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. It is a surety bond. No further contact with Joshelle Freeman. No further contact with the child that he shares with Ms. Freeman. If he wishes to have contact with the child, he needs to file a legitimation case in the appropriate superior court and get a court-ordered parenting plan, child support, and so forth. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. His next court date is going to be April 28th. And he's to stay away from the incident location, which I believe is 171 Auburn Avenue, apartment 408 in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you today?
Well, thank you.
Good. Sitting before you is position number 2, Miss Allen.
Were you all present when I was reading the rights?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm addressing those at ACDC. My name is Judge Law. When I address each of your cases, please understand that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts or circumstances of your cases, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Soon after you were all booked in, your cases were formally accused by the Solicitor General of Fulton County. So these are state court misdemeanor cases. And today we will decide what bonds should be established for your charges, as well as to give you a new court date. So Christy Allen is accused of 2 counts of simple battery family violence, case 26 CR 2409Y. Ms. Allen, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Tucker. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Their last arrest was April 14th. No, that's this arrest. Well, they have 5 cycles, no misdemeanor convictions listed on the GCIC. There appears to be a hold out of Jonesboro for assault. The date of that is March the 24th, 2026. Probation violation from 2025. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, and I didn't see a disposition on the GCIC, but there was a 2024 cruelty to children in the second degree, which I believe is relevant in this case. I'm going to be asking for a $1,500 good bond on each of the charges for a total of $3,000, with conditions no further violent contact with both of the victims who are her children. It's Chrislyn Williams, who's 15 years old, and Alyssa Williams, who's only 8 years old. The facts allege that the defendant and her daughter Chrislyn were in an argument about helping clean up the house when the defendant spit in her face. When the younger daughter Alyssa tried to call their father, the defendant slapped her in the face. We were able to speak with her father, Ricky Williams. He says they share 5 children together, although they've been broken up for about 4 or 5 years. He says she's been having some MH episodes, and he believes that's the cause of this. He says that the case out of Clayton County is also with her, where she was charged for cruelty to children for doing something bad in front of the children. So we are asking for that $3,000 total good bond, no further violent contact with either of these victims. And I am going to request that she gets the initial evaluation for that MHC done while she's in jail, so that if she wants to join the program, then we can get her help.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Allen is 35 years of age. She was able to provide me with a good residential address that she's maintained the last 2 years. She is a native of Stockbridge, but she's lived in Atlanta specifically since the age of 15. She is currently not employed, but she is the primary caregiver for her 5 children. We're requesting a signature bond on her behalf. She does not have any failure to appears. This is only her 5th cycle. She has no conviction to date. She was approved for pretrial release level 2. And I do want to point out very briefly that she called the police in this matter due to her daughter hitting her 3 times. She is currently on chemo. She has a colostomy bag that's currently attached to her. And the alleged spit came from her vomiting. She has been very sickly due to the chemo treatment. So we are asking for a signature bond for her at this time.
Right. On count 1, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. On count 2, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. This is going to be a $3,500 split bond. No further contact with KW and AW. So if Mr. Ricky Williams has the 2 daughters, then he is to maintain temporary custody of them until further order of the court. She may return to her home as long as Mr. Ricky Williams, and I don't think he lives there with them, although they were all in the band together.
He does not live at that location, Your Honor.
Okay, so I
He was
guess,
the Samsung.
is he the one on the Samsung? Okay, good. Can we bring him back in from the waiting room?
Judge, I kept him in the waiting room and he finally hung up, so he's not there.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so he cannot be staying at the same house with, she cannot be staying in the same home with KW and AW, so they need to be living with Ricky Williams. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and she is to comply with any and all MH treatment and requirements. She will report to pretrial services twice a month for a period of 12 months. While she is reporting to pretrial for 12 months, she will complete 4 parenting classes and 12 anger management classes. She's to comply with any requirements set forth by defects, if defects is involved. And she's not allowed to consume any illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and not own or possess any firearms. Her next court date is going to be April 28th.
And Judge, did you say, or are you willing to add an MHET as well?
Well, here, this is what I forgot to add, sorry. She'll need a social worker visit to determine whether an MH evaluation is required. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next we got number 9, Mr. De Jesus.
And Judge, this case involves some very sensitive facts as well as some sensitive information that the victim has shared with us, and she does want to speak. So I think we should probably save this case to last.
Is this all going to be in English?
Yes, Your Honor. He was born
Okay.
in the US.
Then we're going to address position 9 at the end. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, number 15, Hammond.
Brian Hammond is about to be seated. Mr. Hammond is accused of criminal trespass, and his accusation number is 26 CR 2413G. Mr. Hammond, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was March 14th, 2026, out of Fulton for theft by taking, and they're being supervised by pretrial on that case. So we'll be surrendering the bond. The case number is 26 CR 001735G. They have 15 total arrest cycles in Georgia. There's an FTA in 2023, misdemeanor conviction for battery in 2023.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. There's a $600 surety. We'd ask that it remain the same. Stay away from MARTA properties. It was a MARTA property incident in the open case that he has, and I think there's a $5,000 bond to be converted in that case. So we would that's our ask at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Hammond, is 42 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He does have a 7-year-old son. After graduating from high school, he took some classes at the college. However, because of his cardiac arrest and organ failure, he had to go through dialysis, and he has been extremely sick. He gets a little bit of check from the government, but it's not high enough, so he's still qualified for public defender services. He has been residentially challenged for last more than a year, and he really hopes to go back home. However, I tried to contact his mom, but I could not contact. We asked for a signature on bond since he cannot pay for any bond. And if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we ask for $60 cash bond or $30 cash bond, because he cannot go through a bonding company either. Thank you.
Normally you start with 30 and say no more than 60, but you start with 60 and say, oh, by the way, could you go down to 30? Okay. Now, my concern is that just a month ago, Judge Morrow gave him a $5,000 signature bond and required him to stay away from MARTA. The allegations here are back at MARTA. So, and then of course, I'm a little perplexed considering that he has an FTA within the last 5 years, which actually exclude him from signature bond consideration. For this new case, this bond is going to be a $75 cash bond, and he needs to stay away from all MARTA property. He's not allowed on the buses. He's not allowed on the trains. He's not allowed at any of the train or bus stations, nor any of their amenities, including the bathrooms and the parking lots and so forth. So I just need to know whether he understands that, because that's the only language I know.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the bad news is that the $5,000 signature bond that he previously received, that has been surrendered. So, Ms. Bridgewater, on that prior case, 26 CR 001735G, in which he received a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, we're going to amend that to a $2,000 surety bond. Same conditions.
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Next court date for both cases is going to be April 28th. Thank you.
Next is position 6, Miss Cole.
Jade Cole is accused of battery from April 13th of this year, case 26 CR 2407B. Ms. Cole, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Miss Tucker. I'm sorry. Yes, Tanya Tashawn Tucker. We have a prosecutor with Miss Tucker too. All right. Any priors, Miss Hardy?
No, Your Honor, this is her first arrest.
All right. Any recommendations, Miss Heather Tucker?
Yes, Judge, this is a consent bond. It's already been signed, and we've already got her signed up for diversion. So as soon as she gets out, the DocuSign will be waiting in her email for her signature, and then the process will get started.
And what's the amount?
Yes, the terms are $2,000 signature bond through level 1, and to complete diversion, which is an 8-hour anger management course, 16 hours of community service, and the $250 diversion enrollment fee.
Okay. Ms. Tashawn Tucker, did your client accept these terms?
All except for one. I was actually just emailing you, Ms. Tucker. The consent bond you sent me did contain all of those special conditions except for 16 hours of community service. So I was hoping that the diversion form can reflect the consent bond that we did sign.
The consent bond didn't say that?
No, ma'am. But I did discuss all other terms with her. She was in agreement with entering into diversion and completing anger management.
All right, Ms. Tucker, make sure you add the 16 hours of community service before you submit that to Ms. Bridgewater. I will accept that, and she's required to enroll in diversion within 30 days of being released. This is going to be a 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I can't recall who the alleged victim was in this case.
Kimora Thomas.
All right, and no contact with Kimora Thomas.
Well, I believe the consent bond, it included no further violent contact. Kimora Thomas is her sister.
All right. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part. So yeah, all right. I'll go with whatever the consent bond says then. No violent contact. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we got 22, Mr. Ross.
Wendavius Reginald Ross is accused of battery and theft by taking from April 14th of this year. His accusation number is 26 CR 2420E. Mr. Ross, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Miss Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was August the 1st, 2016, out of DeKalb for harassing phone call. That's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for $1,500 good on the battery and $500 on the theft by taking for a total of $2,000 good, with no further contact with Brandy Nicole, and to stay away from 73 Frederica Street in Atlanta. The facts allege this victim was letting the defendant stay with her just for the night at her place because she didn't want him driving home drunk. While she was laying in the bed, the defendant saw deleted messages from other males on her phone, so he became upset, struck her multiple times in the neck and arms, took her phone, and took off. And so she had to go call for help from the leasing office. We did speak with this victim. She says they met in January of this year. They're not really together. They've just been on a few dates. She did confirm the events in the report. She says this defendant is aggressive with her almost every day, but the 4 times it's happened, including this time, she did call police because she felt like he was going to kill her. She says sometimes his aggression is physical, like grabbing her by the face, and sometimes it's not. She said he also just broke her door on Sunday the 12th. She would definitely like this no contact order and a stay away from her home. It's apartment 209 at that same location that I already read. She's very, very fearful of this defendant. She thinks he's going to kill her. However, she's not going to be on the Zoom today. But for those reasons, we're asking for that $2,000 total good bond, no further contact, and absolutely stay away.
All right. I have a couple of people, I don't know who they are, but let's try it. Randy Nichols, are you on Zoom? Do you want to chime in? All right, Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is actually 30 years old, I believe, and he has been I guess they don't have a children together and they don't live together, so he has no objection to stay away and no contact. They don't date anymore. They broke up. Your Honor, my client says that he graduated from high school. After that, he's been working at cybersecurity and computer industry, Your Honor. But at this point, he does not have a lot of income or savings to pay for the bond. He does have a very serious medical condition about his kidney disease. And because of that, he does need to go to hospital really soon. Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond, considering that this is only second arrest he has ever had, and no contact. Thank you.
No.
On the battery charge, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. On the theft by taking, that's going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. This will be a $3,000 split bond. No further contact with Brandy Nichols. He is to stay 200 yards away from 73 Frederica Street, that entire community, including Unit 209. He is to report to pretrial twice a month for a minimum period of 12 months. So this will be a 12-month monitoring. He is no, this is not DD. As I said, no contact with Brandy Nichols means he stays 200 yards away from her. He does not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. And he does not attempt to reach her through social media or through a third party. In addition to this particular bond, he will also be subject to random screens with a minimum mandatory screen once a month for alcohol and illegal drugs. So he cannot consume any of these substances. Well, considering his medical condition, he's not supposed to be. So this will be good for his health. We'll see him on April 28th.
Next is position 11, Miss Gay.
Angelina Gay is accused of battery and theft by taking from April 14th of 2025, case 26 CR 2401F. Ms. Gay, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. Sean Tucker. Any priors?
The last arrest was January 23rd, 2025, out of Banks County for theft by shoplifting. They have 7 total arrest cycles, FTA from 2025. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Heather?
Yes, Judge. Yes, we're asking for a $500 good bond on the battery, $1,000 good bond on the theft by taking, for a total of $6,000, with conditions no further contact with Mecca Williams, and to stay away from 1055 Arden Avenue in Atlanta. You did hear the history. There's a lot of violence in there, as well as the facts in this case allege the victim opened the knock at the door and it was her ex-BFF, the defendant, who claimed she had left some clothes over there, so she let her in to check. Then they're just standing in the kitchen. The defendant asked the victim, "What's your problem?" and punched her in the face. A fight ensued, and then two other random unnamed females came in and told the defendant to leave with them, so she did. Afterwards, the victim realized her iPhone 14 was missing. She had to call 911 on her Apple Watch. She had swelling to her eye, cuts and noses to her lip. We did actually speak with Miss Williams, and she shared her medical records with us. She got a busted blood vessel in her eye. Let me pull that up. Yes, so she got punched so hard it ruptured one of the vessels in her eye. So, I believe she's on the line and would like to speak. If we could sound for Mecca Williams.
Mecca Williams is on Zoom. If you'd like to unmute and start your video, if you'd like to say something, this is your moment. Ms. Tashawn Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Gay is a 25-year-old Atlanta native. She was able to provide me with a good residential and mailing address that she's maintained for the last year. She's currently employed at JCPenney warehouse. We have no objection to a stay away from the incident location on Arden Avenue, as well as no objection to no contact with Ms. Williams. The incident date did occur almost a year ago to date, April 14th of 2025. There's been no further incidents between the two, as well as no contact between the two. I did not see a FTA on the pretrial report that I received, so my request to the court was for a signature bond. If the FTA is recent, we would ask for a total $1,000 surety bond, in this case for Ms. Gay.
All right. Last call for Mecca Williams to chime in? No? Okay. ACDC, please unmute. Ms. Gay, if you want to say something, please remember that anything you say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. But if you waive your right to remain silent, that would be to your detriment if you want to proceed.
I will not discuss the facts of the case at this time, Ms. Gay.
No, it didn't have to do with the case. It had something to do with the FTA.
Oh.
I was trying to tell her that was an error. Like, they had picked me up, but the LTA was wrong in the system, basically.
Okay. On the Miss Heather, I think you misspoke. You were saying 500 on the battery, but then you said 6,000 total. Did you mean 5,000 on the battery?
Yes, I meant 5,000.
Okay, just want to be sure. On the battery charge, that's going to be a $2,000 surety. On the theft by taking, that's going to be $1,000 surety. This is going to be a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with Mecca Williams, to stay 200 yards away from the entire community at 1055 Arden Avenue in Southwest Atlanta. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And her next court date is going to be April 28th. Miss Tyshawn Tucker, if you have a local address for Miss Angelina Gay, please provide that directly to Miss Bridgewater or to Miss Grace. We only have an address from Nashville.
Yeah, she did relocate in the last year.
Yeah, but we don't have her local address. Okay, I'm just saying that we just need her local address if she's living here now.
That's what I was saying. The current address, the 707 South Barron, she does live in Nashville currently.
Oh, I
She's
see.
an Atlanta native. She just moved in the last year.
Oh, she just moved to Nashville.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that would be her current address then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
And Judge, I just got word that a victim advocate has spoken more with her. She has suffered permanent eye damage from this incident. She's gonna have to see multiple optometrists and doctors for this eye damage. So we're actually gonna ask for a $5,000 cash bond on the battery, 1,000 on the theft by taking, for a total of 6,000 cash.
Okay. Miss Mecca Williams, did you want to chime in now? Then you need to unmute if you want to say something. Jocelyn Harris, please switch your video off and make sure your children are not on the Zoom. Thank you. All right. Williams is not responding. That's the bond. Thank you. Next
I'm
case.
on here. I'm on here.
What case are you here for?
Shamar Walker.
Switch your video off and mute your screen.
Okay.
And make sure the children are not on Zoom. Thank you. Miss Grace, please help her. Thank you. Courtroom 2, who do we have?
Yeah, this is number 25, Mr. Walker.
This is State versus Shamar Walker, accused of battery family violence from March 4th of this year, case 26 CR 2422H. Mr. Walker, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Miss Kim. Any priors?
There are 12 arrests out of Georgia and North Carolina. Last arrest was September 28th, 2025 out of Fulton for an FTA. They have a felony conviction in 2020 for theft by shoplifting where they got first offender. It was discharged in 2025. There's a 2022 felony conviction out of North Carolina for conspiracy to defraud the United States. There is an open case for criminal damage to property and criminal trespass under 22 SC 182-057. They're also being supervised by pretrial on that case, so we'll be surrendering that bond. Nothing further to report.
I'm almost afraid to ask, how much is that bond?
One moment, I didn't look that up. Let me look.
Okay, I'll ask for it in a few moments. Miss Tucker, what's the recommendation for bond?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $5,000 total good bond with conditions no further contact with Jocelyn Harris and to stay away from 538 Foundry Street in Atlanta. These facts allege that the victim was sleeping and the defendant woke her up, pulled the covers off of her, started striking her in the face, leaving her with very severe visible injuries. Her left eye was completely swollen shut. She had visible injuries to her right eye as well. Her head was actively bleeding, and she had a swollen and busted lip. I know you saw Miss Harris is on the Zoom. She would like to speak with you. She is recanting, but that's not uncommon in domestic violence situations like this. It's our position as the state that we want to protect her, even if she doesn't understand that she needs protection right now. So we are asking for that no further contact as well as the stay away in this case with the $5,000 total good bond.
All right. Okay, now Miss Jocelyn Harris, if you'd like to chime in, you can unmute and start your video.
Can you hear me?
Yep, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge, subject to the rules of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, now what you're going to do is lift your phone and put it in front of your face so I'm not looking at your chin. Thank you. Okay, what would you like to tell me?
I just wanted to clarify the situation that it was a big, huge misunderstanding as far as what me and him, we both were excessively drinking at the moment. So half of that stuff that I'm not sure what her name is that just told the case. and what happened, a lot of that stuff is untrue. I didn't have no busted lip. I ain't have a lot of that stuff. Like I said, we were excessively drinking. I did get us to, as far as his case right now, we are working on that right now. As far as I got us into a couples classing, and like I said, a lot of that stuff is not true. I do want to just fix my relationship with him. Like I said, it came off an argument, not off of fighting. So, like I said too, we were excessively drinking, drank a whole bottle of alcohol. So,
Anything else?
that's all. I just wanted to just move forward with me and him just getting back together and doing right.
Okay. And do you recollect the evening when you met Officer Onyemachi?
No, like I said, we both were
No, I'm
excessive.
asking you just whether you recollect or not.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Walker is 25 years young, and Your Honor, we would like to request for the violent contact. This happened on March 4, 2026. It has been more than a month. There was enough cooling period of time, and they want to have a relationship together, Your Honor. My client is, he has a GED. After that, he has been working as a carpentry. He's got a certification for OSHA. He works at 2 jobs because he wants to start his own family. He wants to do better and set up the life, and we would like to request for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of other cases, we ask for a maximum $2,000 surety bond, total $1,000 each. Thank you.
Mr. Walker, on the Battery family violence, that's going to be a $5,000 surety bond. No further contact with Jocelyn Harris. No further contact with any child or children that you share with her. If you wish to have any contact with children that you share with her, you need to file the appropriate legitimation case and get a court order for a parenting plan. You are to stay away from the incident location, which is the 538 Foundry Street in Atlanta, Georgia. You are not allowed a one-time visit to that location. Furthermore, you currently have a fugitive hold from North Carolina. So even if you do post bond, it will be pending extradition to North Carolina. Your next court date for this case is going to be April 28th. Thank you.
Next is position 16, Miss Holmes.
All right, Ms. Harris, you're free to go. Senishia Holmes is accused of driving while license suspended or revoked, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and no valid insurance from April 13th of this year, case 26 CR 2414D. Ms. Holmes, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Deshawn Tucker. Any priors?
The last arrest was December 30th, 2025, out of Hall County for aggravated assault, cruelty in the third, and battery. They have 3 total cycles, nothing further to report.
Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. She, in this case, is charged with driving while license suspended. And she had a driving while license suspended that was reduced to a non-fingerprintable charge in 2026. She also has prior theft by shoplifting, criminal trespass. Her driver's history indicate suspension was because in 4 different jurisdictions, she failed to appear in 2022, and her license has been suspended since that period of time. Our bond recommendation in this particular case is for, it's already set at $2,500 on the driving while license suspended, $2,500 on the willful obstruction of law enforcement officer, and 1,000 on the no insurance. We'd ask that amount remain the same. That would be $6,000 surety bond, that she have no privilege to drive while her license is suspended, that she maintain proper registration and insurance on any vehicle which she is able to drive. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while on this bond. Thank you.
Miss Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Holmes is 34 years of age. She has lived in the Atlanta area since 2015. She is actually set to begin a new job on tomorrow at the Honda warehouse in Alpharetta. She did explain to me she is able to get there from a bus route. We are requesting a signature bond on her behalf. This is only her third cycle. As far as, the actual count, she's explained to me that she's currently homeless. She was able to provide me with a mailing address, but she does not have a physical address at this time. She's been homeless since 2023. She was able to save up for a vehicle, and she's been sending payments to her brother for the insurance. So she was unaware that the insurance had lapsed. As far as the her license, she paid the fines for the suspension. So she's also unaware of why her license is showing as suspended currently in the system. So that is something she plans to address immediately. So due to her limited criminal history, this being a traffic incident, we are asking for a signature bond on her behalf.
All right. On the driving while license suspended revoked, that's a $2,000 surety bond. The willful obstruction is going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. And no insurance is a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. This is going to be a $6,000 split bond. No driving until further order of the court, or until her license is reinstated by the appropriate Department of Driver Services. And if she does drive, she must not only have a valid driver's license, current and valid, but adequate insurance, and the vehicle must be registered in her name and only in her name. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and her next court date is going to be April 28th. Thank you.
All right, let's get number one, Mr. Abdullah.
Number 1. Okay. Siddiqui Hashim Abdullah is accused of criminal trespass, and the accusation is 26 CR 2410J. Mr. Abdullah, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Tucker. Any priors?
Their last arrest was July the 8th, 2025, out of MARTA PD for armed robbery, aggravated assault. That's their only arrest cycle. Nothing further.
Thank you. And Ms. Evans Battle or Ms. Tucker, Ms. Heather Tucker?
Your Honor, I'm showing there's a consent in this case.
Oh, there is? And
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Tashawn, what are the terms?
Was this position 1?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought we announced add-on 1. Yes, this is a consent bond. It's going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No additional terms.
All right. That's the bond. And Mr. Abdullah, please be mindful that this is still an open active case, so please respond to the court summons and by making sure your address is current. Thank you. ACDC, who do we have?
Number 3, Mr. Bibs, while they wait on that.
Okay, number 3. Mario Bibs is accused of criminal trespass and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer from April 14th of this year, case 26 CR 2426Y. He has been advised of his rights, and his attorney is Mr. Sean Tucker. Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. As to each of these counts, we're asking for $1,000 surety bond, make for a total $2,000 good bond. Stay away from the 1175 Montree Avenue, and no further contact with Deborah Robbins, who is the owner of the property he was on. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. It appeared from this came onto the property and maybe he was sleeping or intended to sleep in the car that was parked on the property. So we would ask additionally that he meet with a social worker to address any issues that he may have with housing. Thank you.
Ms. Tyshawn Tucker?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Bibs is 35 years of age. He is an Atlanta native. I don't believe he is currently employed. We have no objections to a stay away from the incident location, as well as no objections to no contact with Ms. Robbins. We would ask that this case be set to the competency calendar. And I was also going to be requesting a social worker visit on his behalf for the proper assessments for that, as well as for housing.
Each count is going to be $1,000 surety. This is a $2,000 surety bond. Stay away from 1175 Montree Avenue in Atlanta. No contact with Deborah Robbins. And we will reset it to April.
Keep your eye on keep your eye on. Sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay. April, not this week, but the following week, which will be the 23rd at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Next is position 18, Ms. Jackson.
Antonia Jackson is accused of battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree. Her accusation is 26 CR 2415C. Alleged incident date is February 7th of this year. Ms. Jackson's been advised of her rights. Her attorney is Ms. McLeod. Any priors?
The last arrest was May the 29th, 2019, out of South Fulton for driving without a license. That's their only arrest cycle, nothing further.
Ms. Evans Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. We are asking for, even though it has been a while since she's been arrested, we thought this particular case was more significant in that I'm not sure if this was just luring the victim to that location for this particular purpose or what happened in this particular case. But they were meeting at a location that was supposed to have been like a mutual location, so they would not be at the other person's home in order for him to actually give her a break from the children. And once they got to the location, she sprayed him with some form of chemical, mace or pepper spray, and the officers were able to observe the burns and irritation that he had on his face and eyes once he went back to his brother's home in order to try to wash the substance off. And the 2 children that they were there to exchange were present when this took place as well. So our bond recommendation for the battery, family violence is for $3,500. As to each count of the cruelty to children, it would be $1,000. So that would be for a total of $5,500 surety bond, that there be no further, we're asking for no further contact at this time. In reference to transfer of the children, that there should be a third-party transfer of the children. And the reason why we're asking is because it's my understanding that the victim, because he's moved out of her home, does not have a place for the children to stay. So they would have to make some form of arrangement for him to be able to see the children. There will be no alcohol, drugs, weapons, or firearms while out on bond. Thank you.
Ms. McLeod,
Your Honor.
well, let me see if Mr. LaXavier Williams is on Zoom. LaXavier Williams. No? All right, Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm asking for signature bond for my client. I will be filing an immunity motion for her. She tells me she was acting in self-defense. She tells me the alleged victim with whom she shares 2 minor children has been violent with her in the past and was even arrested for attacking her when she was pregnant with the second of the 2 children that they share. She's that she's afraid of him, and that was the reason why she left the scene. She said had she known he was going to call the police, she would have remained, but she wanted to protect herself and the children, and that was why she left. She has no history of any kind of violence, Your Honor, just 1 prior arrest some time ago for driving with a suspended license. So therefore, I think she does qualify for a signature bond, and that is what I'm seeking for her. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. On the battery family violence, that's going to be 5,000. Each charge of cruelty is going to be 1,500 each. This is going to be a 8,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. She is to have no contact with LaXavier Williams. She is to stay away from the BP gas station at 245 Memorial Drive in Southwest Atlanta. Any transfer with children will be through a third party. In other words, the pickup and drop off of the children that she shares with Mr. Williams is through a third party. Now, if she doesn't want Mr. Williams to have any contact with the children, she doesn't have to if he has not legitimated the children. So if he's not legitimated the children, then she doesn't need to exercise any third party transfer. But if she allows him to see the children, it has to be done to a third party. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms, including a mace, a pepper spray, gun, or anything that be construed as a weapon. While she reports to pretrial level 3 once a week, she will be reporting for a minimum period of 12 months, and she will complete 12 anger management classes at her expense at a minimum rate of 1 class a month. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to say that she specifically does not wish to have any contact with him, and I did advise her about him not having contact with the children since they were not legitimated.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I look at number 20, Mr. Petty.
This was 20, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have Mr. Laquan Petty accused of theft by receiving stolen property from April 13th of this year. His accusation number is 26 CR 2400C. Mr. Petty, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Kim. Any priors?
The last arrest was February 10th, 2025, out of Rockdale for arson and burglary. They have 9 arrest cycles out of Georgia. There was an FTA in 2021. Also in 2021, driving without a license out of Douglas County. Nothing further to report.
Ms. Evans-Banner?
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, we are, there's a $5,000 surety that's already been set. We'd ask that remain in place. This was a situation in where the victim was able to track her phone to his location, even though while it was pinging, it was specifically showing the victim's face on it, saying that the phone is being tracked, please return it to the owner. We also noted that he did have a conviction for an FTA back in 2021, which is one of the reasons why we are asking for the surety. If the court is so inclined to grant a signature bond, we would ask that he complete at least the anti-theft course, it appears that the other convictions that he has are in regards to driving without a license while it was suspended. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Right. Is there a Momin Javid Doctor on Zoom that wants to chime in? All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Patty is 31 years old. He was born in New York, but he moved to Georgia about 15 years ago. So this is his second home. He does have two children. They're both minors, 4 years old and 9 years old. And they live with their baby mothers because my client is struggling financially and he has been residentially challenged for the last 2 months. And he found this phone and Georgia, we don't have a finder's keeper law, but he was taking reasonable steps to return the phone to whoever. However, he couldn't find anybody. It was just kind of like he just couldn't do it anyway. He's working as a dishwasher, and we asked for a signature on bond so that he can move forward and keep the job, so that way he can kind of like get back up and have a normal life. So that way he can spend more time with his children someday. We asked for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of previous incidents, we asked for a maximum $1,000 security bond.
It's a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1 to have no contact with Momin Javid Akhtar. And he's not allowed to possess any cell phones unless it is specifically registered to the defendant's name. Report to pretrial once a month. And his next court date, he'll need to provide us with a valid address where he can receive his court summons. If he fails to appear, this $2,000 signature bond can be revoked. Next case.
Position 19.
Okay. By the way, Ms. Kim, which state has a finders keeper law?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Okay, just wondered.
Not.
I'd be very curious. Ooh, I found this phone. Finders keeper law. Okay. Ariana Janae Jones is accused of simple battery family violence from August 23rd of last year. Case number 26 CR 2416J. Ms. Jones, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Tucker, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
The last arrest was September the 8th, 2025, out of Fulton for aggravated assault and cruelty. That case is open under 25 PI 007399. There's 7 arrest cycles. Misdemeanor conviction from 2016, theft by shoplifting, 2017 obstruction, nothing further.
Okay. Ms. Evans-Battle?
Yes, Your Honor. It appears from the allegation that this incident happened back in August of 2025. Based on her particular history, we are asking for a surety in the amount of $3,500. Our position was no further contact with Mr. Dooley. I believe he is on the line. That aggravated assault that appears to be open in APD is a different victim and not this particular victim, but it does show a history of violence with this defendant. We're asking that she stay away from the 755 Holmes Street Northwest as well. No alcohol, drugs, weapons, and no firearms while out on bond. And Mr. Dooley does appear on the screen if the court was sound for him. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember the time of this incident. So this happened in August this was around 3:45 p.m. when the officers responded. but the alleged incident apparently occurred earlier in the day. Well, gosh, that early in the morning. Okay, Miss Taduli?
She's not your sister.
Yes.
All right, who are all these people talking to you? Y'all are having a party there?
I'm at a park. I'm at a park. I was on my way home from work.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes. I solemnly swear.
Okay. Were you arrested also as a result of this incident?
No.
Okay, then what would you like to tell us?
I would like to tell you that the night that that incident happened, nothing really happened. It was just things that we were kind of just saying about each other. And it came about from a heated argument that we had about her finding a hotel key in the laundry and she thought I was cheating. And we had a heated argument and I left. I had no idea about the police getting involved in it until I got a call and they said that I was accused of this. So out of anger, I said, no, it wasn't me. She did it. And they just believed me. So like, that's pretty much what happened when it came to that. As far as it getting physical, it didn't get physical.
And nobody was cut or stabbed?
No.
Boy. Okay. Miss Tucker?
Your Honor, Miss Jones is 30 years of age. She is an Atlanta native. She was able to confirm a residential address, a local address that she's maintained the last 8 years. She has her bachelor's in zoology. She's currently employed by ACLU. She's worked there the last year. She does have a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old that she's one of the primary caregivers for, that are her children. We are requesting a signature bond on her behalf. We have no objections to a stay away from that specific location at 755 Holmes Street. We would ask for no further violent contact with Mr. Dooley. As the incident date, it was almost a year ago. They have had no further incidents since that date. Again, we are asking for a signature bond on behalf of Ms. Jones.
The problem is her open felony case. Her bond is going to be set at $1,500. It's going to be a surety bond. No further violent contact with Calvin Dooley. Next court date will be April 28th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is position 23, Miss Thomas. Switch.
Miss Kimora Ruth Thomas is accused of battery from April 13th, 2026. Case number 26CR2406B. Okay. She's been advised of her rights and her attorney is Miss McLeod. She is a cross-defendant, isn't she?
That is correct, Your Honor. I believe the cross-defendant is her sister.
Okay, go ahead.
This is her first arrest, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Evans Battle?
No, Judge, I believe this is my case. I apologize.
Miss Tucker?
Yes, this is gonna be, Ms. McLeod, you didn't want to accept the consent bond?
Well, the thing is, I just hadn't discussed it. It seemed reasonable enough, Mr. Tucker. I just got it after I had already interviewed my client.
Understood.
I'm fine with the signature bond, and as I say, I will discuss the possibility of the diversion with her after the fact, since I wasn't able to do it when I interviewed her because I did not have the offer.
The signature bond is dependent on enrolling in diversion. So we're going to be asking for $1,000 good bond with no further violent contact with Jade Cole here. The facts allege there was an argument over Cole's boyfriend coming to the house, even though the mother said he could not be there. This defendant, Thomas, went outside to call their father about it, but when she tried to go back inside, Cole had placed the fridge in front of the door. Thomas shoved past the fridge and a physical fight ensued. Both said the other had punched them in the face. Both had visible scratches on the face. So we'd be asking for a $1,000 good bond with no further violent contact with Jade Cole.
Okay. I'm going to set the bond at a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Jade Cole. And this is since this is not something that's been discussed with client, and if diversion's still on the table, then Miss McLeod, you can obviously discuss that with her and see if she wants to take it. But
Yes,
right now, no violent
yes,
contact, no illegal drugs, alcohol, no weapons. 3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Thank you.
We're fine with that, Your Honor, because they are siblings after all, and my understanding is that the location is their parents' home. My client is a college student; she's a sophomore, and the parents, my understanding is, want both of their daughters to be at home.
Well, apparently quite strong if they can move a whole fridge to block a door. Okay, thank you. Next case.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you. Enjoy your, what day is today? Wednesday, okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Courtroom 2, who do we have?
26, Mr. Wiggins.
Nicholas Wiggins is accused of simple battery, family violence, and simple assault, family violence, case 26 CR 2411A. Alleged incident date is April 13th of this year. Any priors, Ms. Hardy?
Yes, the last arrest was February 17th, 2026, for possession of tools. That case is open under 26 PI 001336. They have 4 cycles, felony conviction in 2025 for aggravated assault and possession of a firearm. It appears that they're on first offender probation on that case. And then there's 2 open cases for simple battery, family violence. Nothing further to report.
Are those open cases, simple battery, family violence?
It appears to be open probation cases.
Oh, I see.
Yes, they are probation cases. They include the same victim as in this case, Miss Wilkes. I think she's referenced as mother as well as aunt in the different cases as well. That 2025 aggravated assault and possession of a knife during a commission that he's on first offender for also involved her. He waved the knife at her and actually stabbed another relative, Keyshawn Wiggins. The victim in the case indicates that he has significant MH issues with which kind of drives the scenario of all the violence that occurs with him in the home, not managing medication and things of that nature. We are asking though for a cash bond. We're asking because he is on 2 different cases of probation as well as those open cases. She continues to be the victim in at least 4 of these cases that we have before the court. So we're asking for a $5,000 cash bond for each offense. No further contact with Stephanie. Will stay away from the location at 1991 Delow Drive Southwest. She's indicated that he comes to the home and will throw stones and things at the windows. He is not to be near that property location at this particular time. No alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond. Thank you.
Is there a Stephanie Wilkes on Zoom? Stephanie Wilkes. All right. Miss Wilkes, if you'd like to be addressed, could you please unmute? Thank you. Miss Wilkes, if
yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
1 second. Miss Grace, could you remove Mary's iPhone? She seems to be having a leisurely drive at the same time. Remove her from Zoom. Thank you. All right, Miss Wilkes, how do you know Nicholas Wiggins?
That's my son.
Okay. And is this the first time you've been involved in a criminal case involving him?
No,
Okay. And what would you like to tell me today?
I just want him to get some help. Go to a
Okay.
mental facility and get some help.
All right. We'll try. Thank you. Please mute your screen. Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Wiggins, is 21 years young. He was born in California, and then they moved to Georgia about 5 years ago. And Your Honor, he stopped going to high school when he was 11th grade, and he's trying to pursue his GED. However, he has not been able to do that. He's residing with his mother, sister, and sister's 2 children, siblings, and dad. All his families are living together here in Georgia. He tried to get a job, but he couldn't get a job other than working part-time here at the restaurant. Your Honor, he does not have a lot of income, and we do agree. If he cannot go back to his mother's place, he has to find a place. So social worker has to give him housing resources and HET. We asked for signature of bond.
Did you ask for a BHET?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. On the simple battery and simple assault, it's $1,000 each. It's a cash bond only. $2,000 cash bond. He is to have no further contact with Stephanie Wilkes. Stay away from the incident location, and that's a distance of 500 yards away. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. He will need a social worker visit to help him with housing and to also see whether he's a candidate for a behavioral health evaluation and possible treatment. Next court date is going to be April 28th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is add-on 1, Miss Hazard.
Your Honor, I have a consent in this case.
Thank you. Victoria Hazard's case is 26 CR 2427B, accused of battery, family violence. Ms. Evans-Battle, what's a consent? What are the terms of the consent bond?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. She's to enroll and complete 3 anger management classes, no further violent contact with Christopher Ware, no alcohol, drugs, weapons while out on bond, and no further violations of the law.
Ms. Tucker, are these the terms to which your clients agreed?
Yes, Your Honor. I did explain the terms, and she is in agreement.
All right, then we will accept these terms, and that concludes this case. Thank you.
I'm sorry, how much is that again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. It's a consent bond.
All right, going back to number 9, Mr. De Jesus.
And Your Honor, position, the last one, Miss Williams.
Bertha Williams?
Yes. She did get interviewed. And when I went to pick her, to get her, she said that she denies everything. So Miss Tucker did get an opportunity to have a little conversation with her.
But she wouldn't come to the computer?
No.
Okay.
She would not come.
We're asking for MH reset for Ms. Williams. I've already reached out to the social worker concerning her. So we're hoping they can meet and get her to appear on Friday.
It would be April 23rd at 11 a.m.
Oh,
is that what you're asking?
I was asking for her, sorry.
An MH reset to SAP calendar, 11 a.m. or an MH reset to MH court?
I was asking for a reset until Friday's SEA calendar.
Oh, the C calendar. Okay. Bertha Williams is going to be reset to this Friday, April 17th at 2 p.m. This is not a Riverside matter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
This is a refusal. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Deputy Milton. Okay, let me see. Miss Grace, can you pause the live stream?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Individuals who are not